Hey, what's going on? Just looking to put the windows in this van. Was hoping to be further along by now. I wanted to do the clouds with you guys, but we'll see as people show up what'll happen. Maybe I'll be able to get to the cloud. How are you doing today, man? What a big Roman. How's it going, buddy? I was just mentioning I was hoping I was going to be working on the clouds versus putting windows in for you guys. But we'll see how quickly we can get there. How's your day going, dude? Heyo. Just adding some. What up, Chris? We're just adding some windows in here. Oh, nice. How's Borderlands going? These kits are always so weird. Sometimes they fit like a glove, other times not so much. This one's kind of weird, especially because you can build the doors out differently and have it open, like it's actually serving octopus balls. I was informed it was a takoyaki truck. I'm probably mispronouncing that. But it stands for octopus balls. Apparently they're deep fried, breaded octopus balls. It sound delicious, to be honest with you. And it's kind of cooler than a sushi truck, in my opinion. Takoyaki, exactly. I'm butchering it, huh? Can you put out a phonetic go for that? I actually had some license plates. Oh, awesome, man. I'm super excited. You gonna join? I actually had, you guys can see it, this top one was golden octopus, and then I had a 64 taco, but I ended up going with my original one, golden octo, as the name for the license plate on here. A little Neo Tokyo, stuff like that. Yeah, really. What up, Grav? Yeah, I'd love to have you join. It's going to be really inspiring. Again, there's a lot of people who have already signed up. We're going to have interviews, so there'll be people talking. My goal is right now 8 interviews, so 1 a week with a builder in the community, potentially like a mental health services worker. Yeah, it's mechanized, so you could really, is it a scout ship, stuff like that? Does it have kind of a cargo bay? What's your story behind it? And I think it could totally be accepted as a mecha. We had a tank last year by Kev Models, which was pretty cool. He had this whole story about it was a dystopian scout and stuff like that, had a chicken in it. What up, new type? So yeah, I think that would totally be acceptable. I'd like to see what you do with it. Oh, nice, man. I hope the campground's really beautiful. Is it busy there? Is the campground busy? So yeah, we got a lot of cool things planned. What up, Reno? We got a lot of cool things planned for the Cerulean Project this year. Like I was saying, we're gonna be doing interviews with people. That's my goal. Again, 8 interviews. So it's raining. Oh no! Start small. Get the kindling. Protect the kindling. That's your big thing. So get a good amount of kindling in there. Get a couple, small little teepee going. Don't go too crazy, but just make sure that kindling's nice and dry. You'll get it going. Some stuff you can always use for kindling that we've used before is you can stuff. You can take them with you. Actually, you can stuff the dryer lint into a toilet paper roll. Makes for good kindling. But yeah, just block it. If there's maybe like a rock around or something like that, and get your fire going, even if it's small, right out the gate, and then you'll be good. So yeah, I'm hoping right now I've got a couple people on board, a couple of people tentative for interviews. So that's going to be exciting. And it'll change and stuff like that. So if anybody on this live stream tonight is like, hey, I'd really love to talk about building and mental health, or building and depression, or just the relief you get, flow, things like that. That was a big thing for some people. So if we have more than 8, awesome. But my goal right now is to give you guys 1 interview a week. Discussing the benefits of model making, or how it helped certain people. It really helped me, especially last year when everything kind of shut down. It was really kind of the one place I could go and get some relief from the world, and gave me focus and things like that. So it was really nice. Been doing it a year, and I definitely want to, as the world begins to normalize over the next few years, be able to work it into a lot of my other hobbies, because it's really been beneficial to me, having this in my life and having the community in my life. That was a big thing. I was really impressed and just blown away by the community. Everybody's been really rad. Of course, there's a couple of dinguses here and there, but those are easy to deal with. But everybody's been super rad, super supportive, things like that. And it's great. It's an amazing form of art. It's really inspiring to see what everybody's doing. So what up, Gills? So it's really, that's a lot of what the Cerulean Project is. It's a show to be inspired and see kind of what your peers are doing and stuff like that. Where it's not so much competing against each other, but celebrating each other. And having stories and things like that you can share, whether it's just this world that you've built around the kit that you've made, or if it's a more personal journey and things like that. But it's all really about giving the sense of community and building what community is there, more so than giving the sense, but just helping people realize, how deep the community is, how supportive the community is, things like that. Yeah, you never know, man. It might get here super quick. Some of the stuff from Japan I get in 5 days, I want to say. So we have a Delta hub here, so it seems like that probably helps. But with COVID impacting freight, it seems like air freight's been kind of going. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what you ordered, man. Getting kits from Japan is really fun. So I'm just putting the glass in as I'm talking to you guys and answering questions and things. I'm almost done with the Golden Octo. Just kind of going back over stuff. I like to make sure everything fits before I put this in place, because like I was saying when I first started, these can either fit really great or be really terrible. It can go either way real quick. I've definitely had some pieces break and stuff like that, so it's something really different. I'm digging it. I'm really digging it now. I'm excited to see what it is. So yeah, like that's Sweet. Please do. So yeah, like if people have questions about what they can do and stuff like that, we were talking a spaceship earlier. So, if there's like armor that, if there's like an older kind of model builder, things like that in here, armor is mechanized. I was talking with my wife earlier. She's going to do a build, and she was asking about scrap builds and things like that. And so I was kind of explaining to her where to find some mechanization and things. But really, it's just like the sky's the limit, like it's really just meant to be fun and foster, again, a healthy dialogue around mental health, while also just celebrating this art show. Go settle in, dude. Get warm, get that fire going. We'll be around. And giving people focus, something to celebrate, like I was saying. I'm excited about the book. Last year it was 104 pages, I think, or like 120 pages. And this year, with how many people have expressed interest, I think it'll probably be more like 150, maybe a 200-page book. Thanks, Gills. I'm really glad you like the work and it's inspiring. That's really great to hear. That's really just what I like to do with my art is inspire and share kind of a piece of me and, take you on a journey through it. What up, Mega? Hey! Good to see you, man. We're just working on the Golden Octo, talking about the book from last year. Good to see you too, man. Thanks for showing up. Just talking about the book last year and how this year it could be like 200 pages and things like that. So we're going to have it be soft cover. I don't know if there's any questions, if you guys ever have any questions about the show, please just reach out to me. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If I'm not around or something, you can definitely wait, or I've put up an FAQ on the website. So, it kind of talks about what's expected, what to expect. What up, Summer? What to expect, things like that. And it's all pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is just the photography and the just your copy at the end of the show, so that I can put it in a book. And that'll be due by November 1st, which then hopefully gives me enough time to get the book, all the assets into the book and sent to the printer and then back from the printer. So it's going to be really exciting. If there's a really big demand for the books this year, maybe looking at kickstarting the books or doing a pre-order next year so that I can do a more hardcover book and still keep it affordable and stuff for people. People kind of staying local. You guys, well, you know that New Type was out camping. Anybody else out doing stuff? What up, 1AM? 1AM was one of the artists. It's going to be really good. It was. I was really amazed and blown away by the turnout last year. And this year's just completely surpassed that for me. I'm really excited to share this again with you guys. And, like I was saying, we've got interviews. I'm working on getting my couple of distributors for swag and merchandise and stuff like that. Last year we worked with Zazzle and had stuff that went out. Again, I wasn't too sure about how many people were going to partake and things like that. And then once there was kind of a demand for soft goods, I was like, okay, well, yeah, this makes sense. Let's make some soft goods. And Zazzle was a good print-on-demand option. There were some quality issues that people had, especially some of the international people and stuff like that. So that was a reason why I decided not to go with them again this year. And we were really having troubles getting the... Will I have a limit? Probably not, man. I think I'm just going to sky's the limit for me. really the biggest thing is about giving a stage to artists and then getting the portion of the mental health book out there. And so, the more people who are involved in this, the more people who are taking part in it, the more awareness, the bigger conversation we can have around mental health, which is, really important to me, and I know a lot of other people. So if we get 100 artists, we get 100 artists. That's amazing. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just, I want it to be something that feels really inclusive. Again, it's not a competition. Some people are kind of, have expressed concern over their skill set and things like that with this. And I really try to tell people not to worry, to just make something and just enjoy the process and be inspired. And, if it's something where you're like, you feel really good about it, but you don't want it to go in the book, that's fine. If you want it to go in the book and you're struggling with getting the photography right, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you. Also you can reach out to any of the artists from last year. What up, Moo? You can reach out to any of the artists from last year and kind of ask them how they did it. Because, not all of us have professional photo booths or photography skills or things like that you'd probably feel is necessary for this. But again, it's not a contest. And so being like, what are you working with? What kind of background do you have? We had people shooting it on their desk. We had people shooting it in a terrarium. We had people shooting on white backgrounds, black backgrounds, creating their own light boxes, things like that. So really the biggest thing is it just needs to be a high-res image that you're happy with. So that's why I say you can send me 3 to 6 images. If you're like, hey, I really like 1, 2, and 3, but if you think 4, 5, and 6 would work better, go ahead and drop them in. That's totally fine. What up, Mark? So, we just try to give those options. After that, after I flow all the information in, I will send you a proof of your page. I'm not going to proofread. I'll proofread it to a degree, but and catch spelling mistakes and things like that. But I want it to be your writing. So I'll send you a proof so you can read it over, see how it is in context, see if I messed up. I might have made a spelling error or added an extra character when I was copying and pasting and things like that. So it's always good to get a bunch of eyes on it, but that way you can see how your layout's going to go. And so that's my goal, because that's kind of a back and forth process as I send that out. And, and I think last year there was, only 2 or 3 people that I had to ask to send me higher res images, which ultimately they were much more happy with the images that they ended up having to reshoot because they gave it more consideration and how they wanted to showcase it. So that's pretty much the biggest requirement. Other than that, it's just having fun, following the criteria. And, if we get 100 artists, we get 100 artists. That would be amazing. I would be so humbled and blown away if there was 100 artists that entered in the Cerulean Project this year. That would just be amazing. But right now, I think we've got about 20 or so people are registered, and in a poll I did a few weeks ago, it was about 42 people were showing interest. So given the fact that I started out with about 6 to 8 artists that I had reached out to personally last year, and it kind of grew, I'm really excited for this year. I think it's going to be a fantastic showing. Yeah, I'm going to sell shirts, so we're definitely going to get the Japan logo and the triangle logo on stuff. I'm going to be working with some smaller print-on-demand companies so that I can kind of collect more proceeds for donating to charity. I'll have a bit more control over that. And the quality will be better. I can kind of ensure that. And then I'm also going to do some limited edition stuff. I really want to do some really cool shit. Glow-in-the-dark shirts, glow-in-the-dark stickers. I want to get some stuff screen printed, things like that on, maybe a nicer jersey, things like that. So I'll definitely have those, and throughout the, I'll announce, hey, we've got a limited edition. I've got 10 shirts, 3 extra large, 3 large, 3 medium, and a small. And when they sell out, they sell out. And so we'll definitely have a lot of that. There's a couple artists that have expressed interest in maybe doing some designs and things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I've got a style guide I can send you. It has some assets in it and things like that, so you can see the fonts and things. But I really want this to be kind of a big kind of just it's a group exhibition. So yeah, we're definitely going to be selling shirts. Right now I'm playing with the idea, and I should probably do a poll or something. I want to do an artist box. I want to do a really limited edition, really nice artist box. It's going to have t-shirt, stickers, book, a 3D printed figure, maybe some paints, things like that in it. That would be super limited. I'd probably have to limit it to probably 10 or so. And I'm guessing retail would probably be around $100, I think, for that. So we'll see kind of what we're going to do. Again, I don't make any money off of this. This is all funded by me. It's all put on by me for you guys, and to raise awareness around mental health. And so any money that I do make off of the sales of merchandise, books, so on and so forth is matched by myself, and we donate to charity. So I definitely want to get some gear out there, things like that. I don't know if we'll have the birth of what Zazzle had to offer with skateboards and wrapping paper and stuff like that. Nobody bought any of that stuff last year. Everybody bought t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts. So that's kind of my goal this year. Ton of t-shirts, ton of sweatshirts, stuff like that. We'll be going into winter and stuff like that. So I really want to get a good bunch of stuff out there. If people have a design, especially for print on demand, if you're like, hey, I really want to see your the Cooster on there. I really want to have an Ammo Night shirt. I want to have a Gundam shirt. Like any of the things that you see, I want to have a VF1 shirt. Any of the promotional material that you guys see, tell me. Tell me that you want that, and I'll make it for the print on demand store. So then you can just order it. The silk screen stuff, I'll have to just have a set design. We'll print X number of limited edition shirts, and that'll be that. So I'm hoping to have those done right before the show. Depending on who I work with, I might be able to get them done during the show. So we might be able to vote on designs, things like that. And I can send them out and list them for sale. So I'm really excited about some of those possibilities with working with different printers. If you guys know anybody or have worked with other people than Zazzle, let me know. I'd love to kind of hear any of the other players in the space. My wife found a few the other day, so I can actually integrate them right into the shop, which is kind of my goal. So you'll be able to go to theceruleanproject.com, order from there. They'll act as a fulfillment distributor for me. And then the other stuff will be... Sorry, focus on real quick. There we go. The other stuff will be sent out by me. I'm going to have this stuff sent here. I'll distribute it, stuff like that. Again, the goal is to raise as much money as possible for charity. So I'm really going to be trying to not take on more, but just trying to cut out what middleman we can. Definitely talking to some people about getting involved and potentially helping with distribution, things like that, or donations, different things that we can kind of that might be able to just help in some ways. This windshield doesn't really fit in here. It almost does, but there's a little bit of a gap. So when I post this tomorrow, please forgive me for any of the less than tight finishes. I'm kind of at the mercy of these kits at a certain point. I don't dry fit them right out the gate. I just kind of start building. I dry fit them a bit so I can kind of understand where the where the thruster should be and stuff like that. Just because last time I mounted them a little too high on the milk truck, so I had to shave out a good portion of the wheel well. I'm glad nobody caught that, you know. Thankfully, I've let go of it, so it doesn't keep me up at night, but yeah. Oh, come on. These are the tricky ones. The tolerance on these is like really tight, so sometimes, other times it's super sloppy. I actually got the Prince Skyline that I built. The whole bottom was completely twisted. It was cracked 2/3 of the way through. My neighbor's out there hammering something metal into the ground, so figured we just keep it quiet. Should put on some music or something. Well, I'm super humbled and stoked by everybody who registered today. All the shares, really amazing. I'm really thrilled to do this next show. Really thrilled. And I'm really excited about the color. Like, purple is, I was talking to Moo about this earlier today, and he was talking about purple and just how much it complements so many things. It works with so many different colors, and I really feel that way. I've had a lot of fun working with purples over the last 12 months, I guess. I think I've only done one kit in purple. I've got a bunch planned, so there's 3 different purples that I'm planning on using or trying out kind of thing. But I've only done one purple, which was the 2-legged walker from Space Runaway Ideon, which is definitely one of my favorites. A little reinforcement in here. For those guys still here, you want to see what I'm thinking about working on for the Cerulean Project? It's loud. Actually, Moo, you'd really like. Are you still here, Moo? Let's see who's here. No, Moo's not here. You, Rookie and Summer, you want to see? I think this is going to be my kit for the show. There's so many sprues in here. But that'd look good in purple. Maybe some gold and some teal, or like some orange racing stripes or something, or cream. A nice cream. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Well, you guys will get to see me make clouds here if you hang around any longer. See if anybody else joins. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I've never built a plum kit, so we'll see how it works. It's a 148, so that's pretty cool. Summer, you want to see my case? That coaster was fun. So this guy, right there, that was the one that I did in purple. What up, Mecca? Just showing the guys the case right now. Here's the hover fleet so far. The Pepto. Yeah, having the cases is really kind of where it's at. Krang. Should have turned on his lights. There's this guy. This guy was super fun back here. That door vac came from MRS. The Tinkle Sam right there. That was the first kit. No, my White Tiger was the first kit I tried weathering on. But that one was kind of the second one where I really refined what I had learned. I think it was the second model I built. And that's the third model I built back there. That diorama was pretty ambitious. Oh, I'm really happy with it. The bunker turned out. Yeah, the Guyver. So I built that when I was a kid. I built that when I was 7th grade, I think. Got it from Night Flight Comics down in the Cottonwood Mall. I'm gonna re-sand him. I've got some kind of like teal pearlescent. I got some teal pearlescent that I'm gonna put on him, and then some color shift purple. That'll be good. So I just got to sand them down. I've kind of been waiting for summer so I can spray paint it and just spray paint them outside, especially with the metallics. All right, I am ready to put this in. Golden Octo time. What up, Jetface? Stop. I'll have to check it out. Narin Studio, okay. Is it like a bust or is it a full statue? I was thinking back on mine and I was really surprised as a kid I didn't put the large extended Guyver blades on him when I built him. But I was very like deliberate about it. I guess you could have also opened up the chest on it. And I wanted to just kind of build him really kind of stoic with not the blades. But now I'm like, oh man, I wish I had those blades. A 1/6 statue? Yo, that sounds amazing. Okay, I think I know who you're talking about now. Scrap Code really likes that dude. Boom. We're in. What up, Josh? We are in like Flynn, guys. A little bit of a gap there. So I get a little bit of bumping in the wheel wells sometimes with these guys. But I think it works for me. That totally works. All right. Nope. Not going any further. Not really happy with that, but that works. Golden Octo. There we go. Get this guy seated in his block, and we'll be on to... Dude, thank you so much. I'm glad you got a chance to look at the site. I'm probably going to try updating it here and there. There's some things I'm trying to play with how the background images are displayed and stuff like that, since I've got all of these diagrams from the manuals that I've traced. So I want to try and kind of play with those and how they kind of move. We'll be adding the store and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for the next book. I was just telling these guys that 42 people have shown interest, and I think 20 is registered so far. So that's a pretty good turnout. And we're just saying if it's 100 people in the book, it'll be amazing. But everybody gets a spread. So 100 people in the book with the mental health spreads would probably be about a 250-page book. Which, hey, if we're doing volumes, let's do volumes. I'm totally down. Be in volume 1, 2, and 3. If this continues to grow like it does, I could definitely see that being the case. What up, the Fet? I could definitely see that being the case. With just an obscene amount of people joining and participating, which would be amazing. I'd be just over the moon. Again, my whole goal is just getting awareness out there. So the more people, the more artists, the better. What up, dude? I think that this year we're going to see we'll see a lot more minis probably in it. I know that there's a couple scratch builders who are going to be joining. There's some kit bashing happening. There's some really fun artists who have signed up today, so it's going to be a really cool book. My goal is to have the book available by December 1st, so that everybody can order it in time for Christmas and I can ship it out. Shipping won't be baked into the book because people want it internationally and things like that. So go walk the pup, dude. It was a good talk. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Enjoy the beautiful spring weather. Just because it's so international and stuff like that. And we all know international is a pain in the ass to ship and customs, and it's just a nightmare, man. It really isn't a pleasurable experience. So I'm going to try and make the book really affordable for people this year, so that, that kind of negates the $40 in shipping or the $100 in shipping or whatever. I'm going to keep it 8.5 by 11, so landscape, so that I can ship it in a flat rate envelope. And again, try and keep the cost down for everyone. I'm feeling this right now. Golden Octo is pretty amazing. Yeah, man, I'd love to have you submit something. Pablo, ¿qué pasó, amigo? Yeah, Fet, love to have you submit something. Check it out. It's really pretty basic criteria. Color purple. It can be a work in progress, so you can start it now and just complete it between September and November. The biggest reason for that is that I don't want people just submitting things that they've built for contests and stuff like that kind of thing. I want this to be something where people are actively participating in the show. Oh, hell yeah, man. I miss you, man. We need to tomemos más cervezas. Bebimos. God damn. It's just see what it's doing, man? I got to get back down there. My Spanish has gone to shit. Duolingo only does so much. Although I got my Spanish card somewhere. Yeah, and then the other is just kind of mechanized of some sort. So we were talking earlier about spaceships and things like that. And, it's really just kind of, if there's some sort of mechanization behind it, whether it's a scout ship that's been equipped with sonar or a warship or, a tank, things like that. We had Kev Models submit a 6-wheeled armored scout vehicle. But, he came up with this story about how it was in a dystopian future and things like that. And that's the big thing for me is telling a story with your model, sharing it with others, things like that. That's what makes the book so exciting is going through and reading everybody's kind of stories and stuff like that. And we have basic information, what your name is, what the kit was, or if it was a kit bash or a scratch model or a 3D print, like what that is, what the name of it is, like what kind of name you've given it. Anything that you care to share about it in a paragraph. So if it's just like, it's a cool kit, I really enjoyed making it, this means a lot to me, great. And then after that, it is what you did to it. How did you modify it? Because a lot of people are going to look at your work and they're going to be like, wow, that's amazing, that's beautiful. How did they do it? And I think it's cool when you can say I used these paints, or I modified the torso, or I scrap built this from an orange juice bottle kind of thing. It provides a lot of personality to it. It humanizes the art a lot, in my opinion. And it's fun to read kind of thing. So I also need copy for the book. You can't lay out a book without words and numbers and letters and things like that. Other than that, it's just a big photography book that doesn't really say much, which isn't a problem. There's definitely a time and a place for that. But this is really about self-expression and sharing and things like that. And then again, the whole back section of the book will be all the mental health resources that I share over the course of 8 weeks. So I think I did 9 resource topics last year. I'll probably just do 8 this year. I'm kind of planning it out already and stuff like that. Especially because I've got some other things that are taking place, like interviews and stuff like that, which now that I think about it, I might try and digitize the interviews afterwards and put them in the book so that people can kind of read through the interview. I think that might be kind of fun, especially for the disabled, blind, things like that. I can have, or for deaf, I mean, you can have something that you can read and things like that. So I'm really trying to make it as accessible as possible for, especially people with disabilities and things like that. So even taking colors into account right now so that reading the copy isn't difficult. Because again, I want as many people to be able to read the book, participate in the book, see the book, just any of these things. Because again, it's really getting the awareness out there about mental health and supporting each other through those things. So I think I'm gonna make some clouds now. Hold on, I'll be right back. So, making clouds is pretty fun. At least for how I'm doing it here. This will be done with just cotton balls. There's other ways to make clouds, things like that. Cotton balls are kind of fun because I can shape them. They're cheap, stuff like that. So I want to figure out how to kind of light it so it almost looks like lightning or something. I think this one I'm going to play around a bit and have... Yeah, you're most welcome, dude. This one I'm going to play around a bit and have some little wispies, some vapor trails kind of coming off of the van. The last ones I've also done surround clouds, which I really like. I think if I wasn't so eager to finish this one, I probably would have tried to do the sky effect again. And I do that with water, with basically still water and dye that'll come with it. So like you'll get different dyes, whether it's a Caribbean dye, a swamp dye, things like that. You can get these different dye colors. So I use Caribbean and it makes a really beautiful shade of blue. Which, fun fact, cerulean blue is the color of the sky. It's one of the oldest colors around, and it was the color of the millennium. So yeah, I'll just take a little bit. We're basically going to work at the base. And it's so that I can hide the point of mounting. Other than that, I'd have to run the antenna all the way to the ground, and I want to give the effect of this thing's actually flying. So I'll leave my post white in there so it kind of disappears. But again, it just looks like the vehicle's breaking through some clouds in the sky and cruising. But the other ones I did a surround. So I would do all these wispies around so you could kind of just see like a picture. And they looked great shooting down, but they don't look that great from the side. So I like this really simple finish on these with kind of like the untreated blocks. Thank you, man. That really means a lot. This is the Golden Octo. It's a takoyaki truck, octopus ball truck. So 132nd. Got it from Hobbylink Japan. You can open the doors on it. So I was trying to find bento boxes, 135th bento boxes and stuff like that would act as I could have it set up kind of like serving. I want to do little hover stools and stuff. I had a lot of ideas with it, but ended up just kind of going. I was going to do a color shift, but my Turbo Dork was just garbage. I've got to order another one from them or reach out to them about it. So I just went with the regular, we got the MiG Ammo Metallic Gold was what we put on this guy. White interior, because I wanted it to be kind of a restaurant, sushi-esque, but kind of funky urban. So like the walls have stickers on them. I didn't put any graffiti on it, and now that I think about it, I should have probably put some graffiti on it. I can always add that. Well, no, windows are in, so there's no graffiti. It's probably better that way. I really wanted to feel like a loved and cherished vehicle. That this owner, this is kind of like all he has. His life is selling octopus balls, flying from the upper echelons, the ivory tier kind of thing, down through the mid-levels, even into the slums that are, it's like highly acidic down there, the air, stuff like that. So that's why I tried to really work really subtle rusting on it and things like that. Because again, it's like I'm thinking Blade Runner, Fifth Element, where like things are well kept, they're not falling apart. But the elements of the world just don't jive. So they live in Neo Tokyo. We ended up doing custom license plates for it. They're in Neo Tokyo as a octopus ball, deep fried octopus ball seller. A little crooked, but sometimes it's tough to get it just right. But the clouds all come in once it kind of sticks, and I just pull them ever so slightly, and I can begin to get these wisps off of it. is really what I'm going for. So it gives it some volume. And like the clouds are just beginning to part as it flies right through. I had a junkyard, let's cross this over. I had a junkyard car last year to wrap up the Cerulean Project. And he was hauling a Zaku pieces in the back of it. So that was really fun. That one was like crazy rusty. I wanted that one to be like just junkyard dog, just picking up the scraps from the robot fights kind of thing, the mecha fights. Because the world that was in, Gundam didn't really exist, but what existed were these robots that people would have like underground cage fights and stuff like that from. So it wouldn't be, yo, what up, 08? So it wouldn't be uncommon to see this junkyard truck carrying, mechanized parts from these fights to the junkyard. So I've been trying to, each one has its own story. Each one really has a different level of technique that I'm trying to apply to it. The milk truck that I did before this, I wanted a really good sense of realistic. Awesome, man. Drive safe. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Definitely drive safe, and kick your feet up once you get home. The milk truck, I wanted to have a really realistic, highly, like, it was really well kept kind of thing by the company. And so just the slightest bit of weathering, stuff like that. The Bluebird that I did before that, I wanted a off the showroom floor fresh. I wanted it super clean. So there was that. The JDM Prince Skyline that I did, I should pull that out, that I did. I did it as a show-ready car, but it had raced before kind of thing. So I had to do this balance of like, the body's kind of been touched up, like it's going to be shown off at an event or whatever. So, things have been touched up, but it's a race car. Like, it's an active race car. And then with this one, again, this guy's servicing all the tiers of society with his takoyaki balls. And so trying to account for like impacts on the side and like how that would kind of rust due to the acidic nature of the world that this character lives in. And then sometimes what'll happen is I'll get a little too much, so I just I'll just remove those. It's tough. It's a really delicate balance between too much and too little. But I really like it when I can kind of get it to stand up and give the illusion that it's, it's as light as air kind of thing. It's a cloud. What does a cloud feel like? I imagine pretty soft. I've been in mountain clouds before, so I can attest that they are very soft. Usually very cold. Clouds aren't known for being warm. There's definitely warm air and cool air that we have that that'll make weather patterns for us. But see, too much. I'm a little too ham on it. But it's okay, because we're going to add another little wispy up higher. So, Gills, that is the decal that comes with this truck. It's amazing. Hey, Donnie V, what up, buddy? That's the decal that comes with this truck. It's amazing. So I actually ordered another one of these because I love the decal so much. Getting it on here is a bit of a pain in the ass because the whole side's ribbed. So it's you got to be really patient with your microset and microsol. Driver side, I completely butchered the decal with some microsol right there. So hence we incorporated it in our story, and that's where an impact happened. Other side went on super clean, but it was tricky. Other decals that came with this were pretty basic. License plate, odometer. That was pretty much it. So I usually try to add all my own decals to it. Outside of, sometimes I'll use the ones that come with it. A lot of times I don't. Unless it's like the badge that'll go on the car. I'll use those. But I like to add a lot of different things. So we'll get like beware stuff. Again, we've got thrust boosters coming down. So it's fun to go in and add little details to it. The license plate I designed and printed out just on some basic printer paper. So that was a lot of fun. If you do that, I recommend setting your printer for complex art. When you're printing things this small, it'll really force the printer to recognize all the detail that you have in such a small thing and work hard to get all those details onto the piece of paper. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you again, everybody, for your support today and how excited you are for the show and stuff. I'm really, really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of people involved. It's going to be a really good kind of showing. Yeah, the decals came with the kit, the octopus. So this is a 1984 Mira walkthrough van. Daihatsu was the maker of it. I actually thought it was just kind of a sushi truck, like a sushi food truck, until somebody pointed out last night that it is a takoyaki truck. So that's even cooler. I'm like, yeah, deep fried octopus balls. Let's go. Sounds delicious. Deep fried anything is pretty amazing. So yeah, that's where, and I was already kind of going to call it the Golden Octo, just because I was kind of, again, had this story about a sushi chef driving around and stuff like that. But I think this dude driving around selling deep fried octopus balls to highbrows, for hipster highbrows for exorbitant price, and then taking it back to the acid slums and just kind of hooking everybody up, kind of being like a Robin Hood. It was a kind of a fun idea. So there we go. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but what I was trying to go for is get the wispies, so there's kind of passing through multiple layers. My good friend Donnie B prints all of these parts up for me. So if you need anything 3D printed, that is your guy to go to. Fantastic human, genius of a person. But so we work on this. He's patient enough with me, sending him booster after booster and trying to figure out sizes and we have some failed prints and things like that. And so I'm just kind of still learning it. And so he's amazing for being really patient with the whole process. And an awesome dude. He did a 3D printed figure last year, which was really fantastic for the Cerulean show. So yeah, you guys can do 3D prints if you want, miniatures, a lot of cool stuff. What up, Kiwi? What up, Jen? The sky's just kind of the limit. Just really have fun with it. If you want to do a human, do a floating robot, watcher kind of thing, or have a human with a dead mech kind of thing. As long as there's something that's kind of mechanized about it. Just because I think we all build a lot of tiny robots and things like that. It's just, again, kind of a unifying theme or thread, I think, in the community in a lot of ways. But it could be a lizard person in a robotic outfit, in a power suit that's mechanized. Spaceship equipped for outer stellar travel, be mechanized. Just really cool, just to have fun with it. The show's really about kind of inspiring. That's the whole part about picking a class. Like, you don't have to pick a class, but it might be something where like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But doing an explorer sounds really cool. Like, I've never done an explorer. I've only done Gundams with guns and stuff like that. And so that might lead you down a path of purchasing a kit that you never thought you would, or scrap building, or kit bashing, or 3D printing kind of thing, or taking a stab at mini painting and things like that. It provides in my opinion, it provides a good foundation to foster the imagination, which again is something that we're just really trying to do and help people with. I think I've picked my kit out since we've got some new people here. Show you my kit. I think this is going to be my Cerulean Project. I was joking with my wife earlier that it's like one of my Cerulean projects. Last year I ended up building 3 models for it. One was just the show closer. I didn't enter it in the show. But my, these guys, so cool. 148. But I was building a VF-31, and both ankles broke on me in the exact same spot. I'm pretty sure it had to do with just the gold infused part that came with it. I don't know why you would ever infuse metallics into plastics back then. Just makes them really brittle. Processes have gotten better now, but this was an older kit, so just my limited understanding of polymers and plastics and things like that clears the strongest. As you add pigments to them, they begin to become weaker and weaker depending on the molecule size within those pigments. So yeah, both ankles just snapped right in the same spot. So it took weeks for me to kind of design a new ankle, which then I had my father-in-law print. He was really eager to do it, so we kind of worked together. He's an old electrical engineer. And got some ankles to work, but that was just, I didn't even have time to finish it, and I was so defeated. So I ended up building a Make kit with it, with a base and a diorama, and then built the truck to close the show. So depending on how the Cloudbreaker goes, I might get to another kit, maybe build a Make or 3D print something. I'm sure I'll have some sort of last minute surprise up my sleeve that I come up with. So it'll be fun. So yeah, this guy is done. He just needs to go in the photo booth, and I will post him tomorrow. I was really excited to kind of finish this with you guys tonight. I was a little bit behind in kind of where I was with constructing it, but it actually came together pretty quickly. It's got a slight driver's side tilt to it, which, hey, the suspension, the drive's kind of struggling. Driver's side front anti-propulsion device is struggling, so could have a little bit of the tip. Fun fact, the Euro van that they came out with actually dips to the driver's side. It was a design feature of the van that didn't really make any sense. So you can actually purchase a leveling block to level your Euro van. I want to say, now thinking back on it, it might have had to do with something with the weight distribution within the engine or something like that. The leveling block really didn't do anything to it. It was just always a weird kind of design thing that they did. The Eurovan struggled really hard. They released it after the Westphalia and ran from 1990, I believe, to 2002 for the Eurovan, 2003 maybe. But they basically had to keep upgrading the engine every year because it was selling really poorly. One, because the marketing was really bad, not a lot of people knew about it, but it was grossly underpowered for the amount of weight. They have a curb weight of like 5,500 pounds. They're insane. So it had like 140 horsepower engine, something ridiculous. So they ended up actually, I think it was 2000 and 2003, they were building them on the new Passat chassis with a VR6 engine in them. And that helped a good bit. We had a Eurovan for a while, and it was a fun vehicle. It was too small for my wife and my 3 dogs, but it was a fun vehicle. I definitely recommend it for somebody with a couple and a small dog kind of thing. Super fun vehicle. What up, Commando? How you doing, man? I've just been talking all things Cerulean, and I just got off of a long rant about Eurovans and some of the weird things around those guys. I know, because we just finished I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing really good, thank you. It's spring here, so it's really nice. I had to fix some sprinklers today, so that's always fun, but I'm doing really good. I'm really excited about the Cerulean Project and what the momentum and just kind of the how it was received today by the community. So I'm really excited to see what everybody brings to the table in September this year, and how to showcase it and things like that. It's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely going to make it as informative as I can, but also as fun as I can and things like that. Thank you so much. Thanks, man. It really means a lot. I've just been having fun with it. It's been a really cool journey. I've met some amazing people. I've learned a lot of shit. Made some mistakes and stuff. So it's awesome. I'm glad you like it. I try to attack each build with something new in mind, something I want to learn, something I want to practice or try. So I've got this Robotech changer from 1985, which is a year before your handle. I'm guessing an 80s baby. 85 was this guy from Rebel Models, and it's an interesting kit, to say the least. I was talking to Dumpla about it because he built one when he was a kid back in the 80s, and he hated it, absolutely hated it. And you can understand when you open up the instructions and they're like this, or this is probably my favorite step so far of this entire project, is step 9 down here. This X-Acto blade must be a micro blade, because this is the piece. The proportions are completely off. So, and there's no tolerance on this thing. So if you try to crush in, I don't know if you built a lot of models from the 80s and stuff, but a lot of them had to do with these polycap cylinders. And you would basically, one side would have a female, the polycap end, and the other one would have a male dowel, kind of plastic dowel, as the arm joint and things like that. And so these go for the fingers in the front there. These fingers right here. And you've got to do it 12 times. Sorry, your Wi-Fi's acting up. I'll be on, man. Later, thanks for joining us. And tell me if my Wi-Fi is acting up, because I have a hard time in my studio. Like if I keep freezing, I usually feel like you get feedback on here, but maybe I'm having really bad Wi-Fi. But yeah, the female inserts that you have to put in here completely crush down. They basically mushroom out. So I've had to go through and file down each one to make it fit in there and not mushroom out. So then I can ensure that the actual claws that have the male dowel on it will go in there and work properly. Already I know I'm probably going to have to glue this kit in place once I finish building it. But my idea with it is I'm going to texture it. I'm going to make it feel kind of like a World War II era tank. Paint it with some kind of cool camouflage, maybe like a low visibility, or I mean, I'm a glutton for M90 camo, Swedish torn tape camo. So I might do a geometric pattern on it. I've kind of been trying to get away from the geometric patterns because I really love them a lot, but it might be time to break it out. Let's see who's still here. Lexa and Gunpla Rookie. So yeah, man, thank you guys for swinging by. It's been a pleasure. It's always cool hanging out. I need to start to get used to this just because of how much I want to do with the Cerulean Project and kind of doing live interviews and stuff like that. So I need to get better about my formats and kind of figuring out how long to run them and stuff like that. So if you guys liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. But yeah, thanks again for all your support and joining the Cerulean, or just supporting, even if you don't participate in the Cerulean, just supporting it, raising awareness, being an advocate. Again, that's the biggest thing for me, is that we change the dialogue around mental health and it being more positive, more constructive, more open in its discussion. We've got some generational gaps, things like that, that make that really difficult. And so it's important to me that we have an opportunity to change that. And so taking advantage of that to try and improve the world a little bit as much as we can. What up, man? I was just kind of wrapping up, talking to these guys since you jumped on, and to see if you got any questions about the Cerulean Project, or if you're interested and don't know yet, or if you just think it's rad and just wanted to say that. Awesome. If you got anything. Oh, looks like we lost them. So I'm gonna hop off, guys, and go spend some time with my wife. She wants to go watch a movie, so we're gonna go watch a movie downstairs. And thanks for joining me on finishing this truck. It was super awesome. And again, thanks, guys. Until next time. Later.